Okay, guys, we are live! So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly Fate Weaver this evening, because tonight we are carrying on with our ongoing adventure playing Ryan Vernier's outstanding Gothic Fantasy RPG, Blackbirds. And with me tonight are the stars of our Blackbirds adventure, The Truth in Ashes. I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing tonight? First up, we've got our resident walker of the path of craft and expertise, Dave.
Hey everybody, I'm Dave. I'm going to clip some pliers here to make it look like I'm actually doing something artisanal. I'm playing Ember's Batch, who is a human Elklander who walks the path of shadow and subterfuge.
Very nice. Next up is Jeffrey.
Everybody, I'm Jeff, and I'm playing Kenyon Maddox. He is an Elklander, and he walks the path of bow and blade.
Nice.
I apologize to those at home if I cough or sneeze. I am sick with COVID.
Yeah. And last, but certainly not least, is Will.
I'm Will. I'll be playing... Oh, wrong window. Let me find the right window. Naldo Rinaldi, who is
Vasari.
a scholar and...
Vasari.
Yep,
No,
Naldo Vasari. He's a scholar and... let's say, wordsmith.
Nice.
He walks the path of charm and manipulation.
Very nice. So, guys, we have some catching up to do for Will. So, the last, I think, Will, that you were able to join us was when there was that fight with some ruffians or deserters in the woods, right? Well, the guys...
And I think we had gotten past them.
Yep, the guys
because wasn't it after that? Yeah, see, it was after that when we found that cabin.
Yes. Well, yeah, you were here for the cabin. Okay.
The cabin is the last thing I remember.
Okay. Do you remember what the guys found in the cabin, I think? Or was it just that you remember getting to the cabin?
Yeah, I just remember getting to. I don't remember what we found inside.
Okay. What do you guys recall having found, what you found in the cabin? I mean, besides the food, obviously.
Wonderful, joyous time with creatures that would grab you and freeze you in place so you couldn't fight them while they sucked your life away.
Yeah, that's right. It was... Here we go.
I seem to recall many of us using our fate points to escape the traumatizing experience of having our lives drained.
Yep.
And then we got our fate points back, only to be assaulted by a second wave of creatures doing the exact same thing. But we were joined by George's character.
Lickner Blue Nose.
Who joined us and it joined into the fight. And then we were able to have a rest at the cabin and heal up a little bit because Kenyon was pretty stressed or traumatized.
Both. And then, Kenyon got sick as well.
Yeah. There was an infection.
Tagwin went to help with some healing and rolled a critical failure. And happened to give Kenyon a little poisonality. And yeah, I'm just gonna fix your wounds, but I'm not gonna wash my hands first. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so we got away from the cabin. We made our way through the forest. But as we were leaving the cabin, Kenyon noticed something that he has not told the group about. Some footprint. Overly large footprint. Was that what it was, Jeff?
Yes, there were some very large footprints by the cabin.
And we're heading into troll territory, so we've been told.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
So the way that... So just to correct one thing. There are not trolls really in the game.
Okay.
Yeah, but the what do you recall what you found within the cabin as well? Signs of, you did not really witness an event in there, but the aftermath of it was pretty clear. Something large and clawed and the
Right, had to smash the place up real bad.
yeah. And what I can't remember which of you guys made the successful roll for it, but somebody identified these things as likely shades, unquiet spirits of the dead, because since the Betrayer's War began, it seems as if the gods have been lax in their duties, including Corvus, the god of the dead, in escorting the departed to their greater remains, or to their eternal reward. Instead, some just haunt the regions where they died. Whatever got in here and did whatever it did to the people in here, it was not left behind, but what Kenyon found was an oversized and distorted footprint. But the footprint itself was around 3 or 4 feet long and about a third of that wide. He did not tell anyone else, though, and kicked dirt over it to avoid panicking everyone else. You guys did find, or at least hear, some wolves last time.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
We did hear
That's always
wolves, which is what it could have been. Giant wolves. Don't worry about
Giant wolves. Yeah, no worries.
it.
I think it's just my mind just thinking trolls and not the characters or the game, obviously. And so, yeah, we tricked the wolves by injuring a deer and letting it run, muling and wounded through the forest, hoping to pull the wolves away from us.
Yeah.
And we kept going until we got to Emerus found a man on a cart who was traveling through. Originally, he was traveling to the left, but with the magic of gaming, Kev was able to make him go to the right.
Yep.
And he's led us into town, but let us know that things are not all right in the area, and House Teague is in turmoil. So the people we were hoping to go and see and get assistance from, that Kenyon knows or has a past with, Kenyon's friend is a renegade. Robat is now a renegade, and we entered the town, and while we were in the town, we saw a rider booking her down the road.
Before you got there.
Before we were even into town, word passed through town, and a rider was dispatched, we figured, to the keep or local authorities.
Yeah.
Who are allied with Robat's mom, who sounds like she's gone a little off the rails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our plan was to gather some information and supplies, see if we can figure out where Robat might be hiding, and get out of Dodge before the authorities show up en masse.
Yeah, the village was Ramblecross, and before our heroes crossed the bridge to get into the far side of the community, a watchtower that seems to have been set up blew a horn. Another horn was blown, and then before our heroes made it to the banks, they saw another rider go off. Kenyon identified it as likely a messenger. I don't remember. Oh, there's the person you met was Owen.
Yes, he was
Yeah.
transporting some kind of liquid.
Yeah, it was fuel, I believe, oil.
Lamp oil.
Yeah.
Right.
So the last thing that you guys spotted was that there was a small encampment, and by encampment I mean like a single, kind of area set up with the mark of the sigilites on it.
Oh, right. Even better.
Yeah. You may, I think you missed the resolution with the captured sigilite, but Emrys ended up having, was it Emrys who killed him, or was it someone else? It might have been Kenyon who cut his head off with a extinguish action, actually.
Yeah, and Kenyon had done the drawing a line in the sand kind of thing, and the sigilite attacked Emrys, and Kenyon killed him.
Yeah. So, then, any questions, Naldo?
No, it's a lot has happened.
So we need to gather some information.
Mm-hmm. So
and
then
get supplies and get out of town.
You know that the keep itself is probably only about a 20-minute ride at the pace that the guy was going. So all things in an hour, if they're sending someone back quickly, an hour or possibly an hour and a half in the outside, if they are going to send someone to investigate what's going on. But as far as you know, there is a the son, Sir Robat, has been accused of murdering the father, Sir Lord Maxon. At least that's the reason for him being deemed the rebel. And Kenyon knows that from spending time as a child with this family. Like, this just is the most unthinkable outcome, knowing who these people were. But that was before the Betrayers' War, though, so Lord knows what's happened since. So, guys, as you were coming into town, what is the plan here?
I believe we had decided... Oh, wait, before that, Kevin, we have to flip our coins.
Who is...
Or at least Kenyon does.
Kenyon's got 2 flips this time?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Oh, yeah, right, you didn't get your fate back last time. Right. So
that is... Oh, that's the cross. That's the good one.
Okay.
The skull is the bad one.
He's got your fate back?
He is fated again.
Okay.
I believe we had decided that we trust that we should speak with Robat before we make our judgment. Is that correct, Emrys?
Yeah, but we don't know where he is. So
no, but we were going to not be besieged or captured or restrained or whatever by these riders that are on their way.
Yeah, so I think first thing we're going to do is head to the tavern and see if we can pick up some rumors.
Okay.
That was the thing I had said I was going to do. Tagwin was going to try and talk to the blacksmith, but let's say Tagwin's busy doing that right now.
Okay. Yeah, we can retroactively do that when Andrew had a work event that went late, so he's stuck on the train right now. I'm not laughing. I don't know why I'm laughing at that. That's not funny.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
That's so horrible.
So,
I don't know. I mean, I'd rather be stuck on a train than stuck in a car.
This is true. Although I don't know what the situation is like for his community. It may very well be that it's stuck in the train until you get stuck in a car for the last little bit, right? Getting back from the train station to your house.
Yeah.
But the hours, I
Getting
agree.
stuck in a car, that's the one I thought.
Yeah. So then, as you guys are riding into town, what you can see is that, for one, you are drawing the attention of a number of the locals. Seeing they seem to be coming out to visit Owen, and did I say, I'm trying to remember, was it Polly or Molly was the horse?
said Molly.
Did I say Molly? Okay. I didn't write it down as a thing.
Maybe it's Polly. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was P or M. Anyone in chat who remembers one way or the other? Let me...
Owen and Polly are just too OP.
Could be. That's giving me too much credit for a Wednesday night. So as you are riding in, you can see, like I said, you can see the people coming out. And Canyon, I think that you have been here before, so you know sort of... Well, maybe you may have been to this... you likely have been to this town. So it's one of the communities that services the... that is part of the lands that owe, you know, fealty to the Black Tower. So you likely have been here before. This place is both familiar and unfamiliar in the sense that it is unfamiliar in that the mood here is so different than before. People are not just going about their business and living their lives. The fact that, you know, 3 strangers are coming, you're not even riding, you're walking into town. The fact that 3 armed strangers are walking into town is drawing a lot of attention. And I say familiar because this is the look that, as a member of the Hallowed Hounds, you would get anytime you ran into town. We've talked before, like the distinction between a mercenary and a bandit is really like one bad outcome of a battle.
Right.
So there's a lot of folks who are giving you kind of the hard eye as you were making your way through town. Before you cross the low bridge and you make your way into the town proper, do you have anything to say to Owen? Otherwise, he's going to point you in the direction of the tavern, and then otherwise he'll bid you.
I feel like the less we say to Owen, the better. We don't want to get him in trouble or tip him off to what our plan is. So
fair enough. Okay.
And then he can't be held accountable.
True. So as you walk, you make your way in, he points out the things and he wishes you good luck. You may remember Emrys got a critical success on his diplomacy check, or charm check. Diplomacy? Where is it? Fellowship. His charm. So with you guys going along, there's a bit of milling around, and you'll have a minute or so before no one's approaching you necessarily. Everyone's keeping a discreet distance, but there's a lot of kind of like looking over shoulders and talking to one another. And what do you guys do?
Head to the tavern, Emrys.
Yeah, let's try and get some information and get the heck out of here.
Okay.
The quicker we can do this, the better.
Yeah.
So I think. Do I have... Let's see if I've got... I didn't set it up, but I've got that, I think... tavern interior we used in... Rollmaster. That was actually probably pretty appropriate for this. Let's see, is this the one I was thinking of? Let's see. No, this is different. I wonder if I had it as an inn? Actually, you know what? This will work just as well. This is from our Dragon Age adventure. Dave's charity session. Dave and James's from earlier this year. Dave, how many days till Veilguard?
29? Or so.
Give or take.
It's on the 31st, so I guess, yeah, 29.
So, as you guys open the door, you can see that there are a fair amount of folks who are in here. I think it was called Mary's Pot is the name of it, and there is kind of like an old pot that's been hanging from the where a placard might hang. But when you step in, there is the proverbial, or not proverbial, there is the classic like hush in the bar as you step in, and then conversation starts back up and kind of a hush as you're going in. No one is eagerly greeting you as you come in. Even the people, the tavern keeper from behind the bar looks over at you and continues talking to whoever they're talking to at the time. It is a male, Outlander as well. So, dark hair. Looks like it probably hasn't been maintaining. It's a clean-shaven person, but someone who has let several days' worth of growth go in. He's leaning on the bar with the look of someone who owns the place. And there's maybe one, maid who's kind of making her way through the patrons and whatnot. There are a couple of empty chairs or empty tables in here if you wish to take a seat. You'll either have to be right near the entrance or closer to the back, though.
Why don't we... Oh, what do you think? Hide at the back or stay close to the door?
Close to the door?
There's almost always a second way out.
Sure.
You're the expert on this, Emrys.
Never walk in somewhere you don't know how to walk out of. Let's.
Can I do a quick skullduggery or something, Kev, to see if that's if there's an obvious alternate exit?
I think just knowing these types of places, you would know there would be like it's not likely from this room is going to lead out, but if you go to the kitchen or the cellar or whatever, from there out back, there's likely to be. Otherwise, they wouldn't. They wouldn't likely bring supplies and stuff through the tap room itself.
Yeah. Okay. Emrys is like, yeah, the back's fine, but if we get pinned in here, we're going out through the back door or through the bar. Wherever they're bringing the food out, that's where we're going in.
That works.
The door to the outhouse is,
why don't you guys?
The outhouse is probably attached.
Why don't you guys give us an awareness check, please? This will be at I think it's standard.
Oh, there's awareness. Standard. Yeah.
Great.
Look at that.
All right.
So here's something that you guys all pick up, and again, this is from your experience with the Hallowed Hounds. Mercenary companies, successful ones at least, like the Hallowed Hounds, they're always recruiting. You always need to either augment your numbers or you need to replace, casualties. And it seems as if you were to guess something similar, whether that is a government, like one of the local rulers, or a mercenary company, or a combination of both, may have been here because there are very, very. There's pretty much no adult between the ages of about 18 and about 30. Everybody is either older or younger that is in here.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
They've all gone to war.
You make your way to the back, and you're able to sit yourself down. It is a noticeable delay, unless you guys get up and try and help yourself, between when you sit down and when finally the bartender nods to the skull, the what do you call it, the tavern girl to head over. She walks over. She must be, I say girl, but I mean, she's got to be probably 40, 45. She makes her way over, and she doesn't have the presentation of someone who is happy to be doing this job. So perhaps it's a relative or something like that who is obliged to help out because nobody else is. And she says, "You got money?"
That's a great question.
You guys do have those spoils that were taken from the deserters.
Yeah, we got money.
I have it on my sheet. I'm spoiled
it's
level
4 levels, isn't it?
Yeah.
So 4 levels of patronage. 3. So for 2 is a place to sleep outside in a safe area, tents, firewood, and unprepared food. 3, a level 2 would not diminish your, like, you could afford that without diminishing your resources. Level 3, a roof overhead, usually in a lodge in a barn, an abandoned building, or a communal dwelling. So they'll probably be sleeping on the floor in here. That's a 3. That would diminish for all of you to have that, diminish it by 1. That would also give you basic meals and some booze for the evening. So you have enough with what you've got to get all of you to stay here, but it's going to take a big chunk out of the... you will have now 3 levels of spoils left.
We're not anticipating staying, so I think maybe just like a round of drinks and, we slip her an extra coin and just tell her to hurry it up,
Okay, yeah, so that won't diminish the... you can get that. Okay. All right, she said, so when you put the coin on the table, she says, food and drink?
Unless you got something quick, we're just passing through real fast.
She looks over the window, looks back at you. It's getting dark soon. Are you bandits?
Nope.
Travelers who guard our coin very carefully.
People around here don't seem very friendly. I don't feel like staying around.
Why don't you give us a...
Can I try and maybe...
Oh, go ahead. What were you saying?
I was just going to say, can I maybe try and charm her?
Yeah.
And be like, we're just traveling through. We've got somewhere we need to be. To have time to stop, get something to drink, and then head on our way.
Good call, Naldo. Don't let Emerus do the talking.
Naldo,
I could already tell it was going south.
Now, remember, I'll take a look at what your talent slotted is and what technique you have slotted. Your techniques should be rekindled, so you should have one of your techniques slotted.
Yeah, and I've got. I didn't really see anything that really would specifically apply to like a single person.
Okay. How do you know if she's single?
But at least one. But I figured I could at least just charm her. I mean, I've got a decent chance of that.
Yep, absolutely.
That's standard.
When there is a most welcome reflection.
Oh, you think the guile one? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the guile test with an additional +10.
That's you. So, yeah, if you want to try,
I'm just one of you guys.
Let's try that first. That actually might offset the difficulty from it. So,
sure.
Give us a guile check at +10. So that'll be at routine. See if you can mimic her accent, mimic her demeanor. Yes, you can. Very narrowly, but actually,
very.
Yeah, it's different because it's
very nice.
Depending on the version of Zweihander, sometimes you subtract what you rolled from what you're, what you needed to roll, and sometimes you just take the tens digit.
Mm-hmm.
So in this one, I think it's subtract. Okay. But yeah, like I think in bog standard Zweihander, like you take the 6, so that would be you got super close to it. So that'd be 6 plus whatever your fellowship bonus is to give a sense of how good the result was overall. But
yep.
Yeah, so then why don't you give us a charm check at easy, please?
All right. Difficulty on my easy.
So what do you say, Naldo?
Bam. We're just, in the area. We're from around here. We're trying to get to where we're going. We just pause. Need a little bit of refreshment. Then we'll be on our way. And you'll not have to worry. How about getting us a drink, dear?
You see she's softened considerably in response to Naldo's charm. All right.
How you doing?
We've got something hot, too. It won't take long to prep.
Don't let me talk.
She goes away to prep everything. Yeah, I mean, you got that crit on Owen, so, you know.
Yeah,
something.
you know, I can do it when Aldo's not around sometimes, maybe.
So with her away to grab a
Sometimes,
drink,
maybe.
what are you guys intending on doing?
Well, let's see if we can scan the room and I don't know. What do we look for? We look for people of your ilk, Emrys, or
Well, I've got an eavesdrop skill that I picked up a couple of weeks ago.
Oh.
I could try to make some use
we
of
need to
that.
try and locate someone who would know something about
Well,
Robat's location.
it seems to be all the rage right now.
Is eavesdrop, sorry, is that a talent or is that a skill?
I did a skill improvement in eavesdrop.
Oh, okay. Let's see
It's
here.
under perception.
Yeah, that might be.
Oh,
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
you know, like maybe he's walking around and he's like, you know, hey, how's it going? And just kind of really not talking to the people he's talking to. He's like actually listening in on conversations throughout the room.
It's not. I think like, you can try and listen in without having to try and mingle, but if you're trying to mingle, remember where this place is, right? It's a small town bar. If you're wandering around, you know, your presence is
So
going
maybe
to be
it's
noted.
listening from our chair.
Yeah, although what you could do is if you want to try and do it surreptitiously, you could give us a stealth check. You are quite inconspicuous when you need to be, you know? Maybe so you're going over to examine something on the wall and just listening in, and you just don't want to draw their attention or get their hackles up.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm actually. Oh, yeah, that's perfect because I've got Prowler open and plus 10 to stealth checks.
Oh, great. So why don't you give us a
So that's good.
stealth check
Stealthy.
at plus 10? Yeah, and
Okay.
I'll roll standard because it'll be contested. I'll roll for the...
So just roll it at standard, and that includes the plus 10?
No, you roll it at routine. Sorry, or you can roll it
Roll it at
standard. I
routine.
think it gives you a modifier to add plus 10, doesn't it?
No.
Oh, okay.
So roll it at routine?
Yes, please. Yeah, when your AB is what?
7.
Yeah, you can be like basically like at the end of the table, and they won't notice that you're you're actually listening into what they're doing. Give us an eavesdrop check at trivial.
Trivial.
Yeah, actually, that's listening in
like
on an adjacent
right on their table.
conversation. Holy shit!
The money,
Wow.
money.
Oh man, roll 20.
So, what you can overhear now that they've sort of stopped, paying attention to you guys as the newbies in here, there's a little bit of comment about you. I think you overhear that they, there's more. There's both more people who seem to be joining Robat's renegades, and there's a discussion of more sigillites coming to augment Lady Irwin's forces. The sentiments, it also seems like they're talking about, you overhear one of them talking about how they haven't heard from their son. It sounds like some of the locals have been press ganged into the ladies' service, and some have run away to join the renegade or the rebel, Robat, the rebel. It really sounds like everybody of fighting age has thrown in with one or the other, and
Not always voluntarily.
think with the lady, it seems like it's expected that there'll be footmen or footwomen in her forces, But it sounds like she is also relying quite heavily on some auxiliaries from the Sigilite Order. Robat, it seems. They also, I think you overhear some discussion of, at one of the tables that is out, clearly, their kids are with the lady and their sentiments are with her. There's talk about Robat being a practitioner of black magic, of summoning creatures from the odd, a theurge.
Oh, which would explain the acquisition of sigilites to your group instead of just mercenaries.
Quite possibly,
If you're worried about magic. Yeah.
It might also be a lie being told to get the sigilites to come help her.
So yeah, I'll take this information back to the table, and that's probably exactly what Kenyon pulls out.
Unless I have any memory of him ever being involved in magic, or
so the Sigilite Order is something from the further to the east. I can tell you what nation. I want to say it's based.
But has Robat involved in magic when he was a child, like growing up?
Or interested in it, or not at all?
No,
yeah,
it's not the kind of thing he was involved in. Although, you lift your foot, and you'll find a wizard scrambling under it. Right, like you ran into Licknir in the in the woods, and he seems to be a wizard or a theurg of some kind.
Right.
So it's something that definitely has. It's a more recent development. Yeah, and if it is something that he got into, it is something. It's not anything he was ever into when you knew him.
Right. So then I probably did spit out something along those lines of, it could just be a lie being told by his mother to gain the help of the sigilites.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll kill him on sight if they capture him, or there'll be a false trial with his mother as the judge.
The reason I mentioned the Sigilites as coming from the further to the east is because they're not a religion or part of a religious order that the Teague family was ever allied with before. This is not a matter of like they're carrying on a tradition of a strong connection to the Sigilite order from before. This is yet another example of the Sigilites coming and sort of opportunistically imposing themselves into a conflict. And I mean, again, like Emrys's Nan, she would have been likely burned by the Sigilites as a witch because of her knowledge of warp cunning. They don't make a distinction between theurgs and those who are practitioners of the folk arts. So plenty of folks to find to burn with that kind of stuff, even if you don't turn up theurgs, which are more and more common. Plenty of people who are wise in the old ways who are happily turned over, and that's not counting the ones who just aren't, and people have ratted them out as witches. Salen truly has nothing on the Betrayer's War and people accusing others of all sorts of depravities. So, that's what Emrys has overheard. Seems like the...
Well, did you
go ahead.
Gather which of them... yes, talking to Emrys. Emrys, did you gather which of them would be worth speaking to as far as which direction to head to find the rebels?
Did I hear anything like that, Kev? Would that have been... Nobody knows really where he is?
Like you're...
Well, some of them, their kids, you said, ran off to join the...
Yeah. There's some who threw their lot in with that. So, like, you could try and corner one of them or,
I'll point out to Kenyon which one who said their kids went off to join Robat. Yeah. And if you want to make that play, you're probably better equipped with your history of or knowledge of Robat.
Yeah, sure.
It's like, hey, I knew him. So yeah, Emrys will point out the table where the family's kids went to join Robot, and we'll see if.
Okay. And then what do you guys do?
Do you think that you should join me, Naldo? You are very smooth with talking to strangers.
Yeah, I might be able to.
Maybe if you made an introduction, I could explain to them our situation.
The trouble,
Freeze the
just to
path.
point out, like, Emrys was able to listen in because he was being inconspicuous and whatnot. If you guys walk over as strangers and sit down at a table, the rest of the bar is going to see what's happening.
Right.
You may be okay with that, but...
Oh, I see. It might be bad for them, right?
Yeah, they might not want to talk because of that.
We could wait. We could wait to talk to them when they leave.
Yeah, but we might not be able to stay long enough. Like,
well, if they're at a tavern, they must. Someone from that table's got to go out for a piss at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We could go outside and wait.
Are we trying to find out any, like, a rumor, or are we trying to find out a specific thing?
A specific thing of which direction to go, where to head to find Robat.
Okay, I had an ability, so I was just curious.
Oh.
Learns all the rumors about their current location that are available.
Mm. Do you click on that ability?
Oh.
But that may not be as beneficial right now with what we're trying to get done.
No, well, that is kind of exactly what we're trying to do.
Is it?
We're trying to learn where Robat's rebels are stationed or hiding, or we don't really know. We've walked into a conflict, but we want to speak with Robat before we assume that the riders are coming, have seen us and are coming here to speak with us because we are, mercenaries coming into town, and there's this conflict going on. And so we're trying to act before they get to us, basically.
Right.
And there's the Sigilites already in town, which we kind of want to avoid.
Absolutely. We might have just killed one of theirs, 4 days ago or 5 days ago.
Nobody knows anything about that.
Did we keep any of his stuff or anything? I don't think so.
I don't think you did. You guys took the stuff from
I think we burned. We were cautious with that.
John had originally talked about somebody had said about wearing his armor, and we were like, no, let's not do that. It's like sigilite armor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Naldo, would you mind clicking on the
second thought,
talent or whatnot that you're thinking
the
of?
ability?
Yeah.
That's that last one, Bewitching Minstrel.
Oh, if you burn, what do you call it? Burn? No.
Yeah.
Burn?
Extinguish.
Extinguish.
Yeah, it's extinguish. It's an extinguish ability, but I can do that. And if that's going to be beneficial, I have no problem.
Yeah.
And we get a spoil.
Oh.
Yeah, we get our soul
This
back.
is kind of interesting. So you convince the girl or the barkeep that you're going to put on a show, and it gets us all this information, but it makes a scene.
Yeah.
It makes a scene. It's basically, of course, they say performed, and I guess a lot of people think the traditional historic bard, playing an instrument, singing a song. That's really not who Naldo is, though. He's much more he's not technically a historian, but he knows history.
Mm-hmm.
So he could very much recount some tale that maybe parallels, to some extent, what the modern political situation is.
And
That's what I was thinking. He could just...
You've already rolled your successful guile check, so you're gonna blend well into this whole social circumstance.
Right. So that's what I was thinking. He just kind of tells this story that kind of parallels, and that's what it is. It's an oration.
Yeah.
It's an oration.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Worst comes to worst, if we get, I don't want to say accosted, but if the the lady's men come, we could get press ganged into her service, and maybe she'll send us to go hunt her son down.
Right. True. I mean, I don't think we'll be instantly harmed if we are captured by them. I do still have a family connection with them that it would extend to the mother as well. It's just that the son is my friend. I think we wouldn't be in danger by these people, but she would definitely try to press gang me to go, convince me of whatever's going on, that he's turned to dark magic or whatever. I mean, we'll get information either way, so it's not the end of the world, I think, if we do get quote unquote captured.
And this also hits on cool factor.
Absolutely. This is his thing. Like, you got
Absolutely.
unextinguishability.
So, Naldo, you are a graduate of the Bardic School of what's the name of the place? You are among the Cathia, the Bardic School of Cathia, meaning that you are exceptionally trained in of holding an audience captive, as it were, and setting a proper diplomatic tone. The bards of Cathia are among the most desired in a court. This is not the first time. It may not surprise you to learn when mercenaries are looking for work. More often than not, one thing that people think of first is let's just arrest them and hang them, and then we got less people with weapons who are broke. So you've been a valuable member of the Hallowed Hounds for that particular reason, to open doors and avoid people taking the disposing of your colleagues in the most expedient way. So what do we see for Naldo? What do we see that he kind of captures the
the way I think about it, I think he kind of there's got to be some sort of at least a little open area.
Yeah.
Surely they have some sorts of dances in here, so I think he kind of stands up in that open area and he pulls out a book. Now, granted, this book has absolutely nothing to do with what he's speaking about, but it sets a scene, it sets a tone, and he just authoritatively declares, gather round, hear of the history of this land, hear of where you have been and where you are going, as I tell the tale of and whoever it is. That's kind of what he introduces it, and then he kind of starts weaving that historical, tale, and kind of surreptitiously dropping in kind of how it relates to now. That's what I see him doing in my mind.
Okay.
He stands up, and I mean he's not a big guy per se, but he can command a presence.
Oh yeah, he's got a massive presence.
His voice is very tough.
He's a short king, some might say. So
Bingo.
Someone younger than me might say that, for instance. What you see then is, by the end of it, you get a modest amount of donations. You've got one spoil, but these people are not exactly flush with it. But the thing you were particularly interested in was the rumor of where the rebel Robat was located, right?
Yes.
The rumor is that he has currently laid up in a place called Mulgrave Keep. Mulgrave Keep is a ancient abandoned structure. This is from centuries before, near the early era of the Republic of Erebus, and it is long. The Black Tower, it has been the place where whoever rules this land has been ruling for a long time. It has a ill enough history to it that it effectively has been reclaimed by the forest. And as such, it's really not a suitable place to be, and it's also a very difficult place to attack, because you can't really go there in numbers, so they think that's where he is. Any other rumors you have I guess the other rumors are things that have been repeated from before, that he murdered his the husband. You do hear that there's rumors of her killing the husband of Lady Teague, Lady Irwin, killing Lord Maxon, and then trying to kill Robat. But it is disputed because Morgana, the daughter, she is still alive and still living at the Black Tower, as is her spouse, Sir Anwes Dew. And you know both of them, Kenyon. Morgana was likely a young girl, younger than you when you were here. And Sir Anwes we've talked about before. Sir Anwes is someone who is older, who you have met before.
Right, and I was surprised that he ended up with Morgana.
Very much so. He's older. Yeah. An older, younger, like a May December, marriage is not really a unusual thing in the lands of Elkland. What's more surprising is that she's the daughter of a noble. You would think that she would be married off to someone who's got more of a stake rather than just one of your own knights. So that's a little unusual.
Right. Yeah.
You could give us why don't you give us a routine awareness check, Kenyon? Let's see if you can reflect on something.
Yeah. Routine awareness.
Spend some points if you need to.
Oh, what does that do again? If I spend a point?
If you spend a point,
does it improve?
You get a 10 plus 10%.
Oh.
I don't know. I thought that's what it was.
Let's see here.
Is that correct, Kev?
Fortune.
No, doesn't it do more than that?
Fortune is
Does
to
it give you like an
re-roll.
advantage? Oh.
Take a look.
Can you spend it beforehand?
That's a good question. I mean, I know you can with a lot of other games, but let's see.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember offhand. I know we've been using it for re-rolls so often.
Yeah.
Here we go, Fortune. So to add a flashback, to add the enchanted quality, or to which I must answer honestly. Those are 3 spends for talents and techniques. You can re-roll anything that's not a critical or sublime outcome. You can gain an action point. No bonus beforehand, though.
Okay, so just do the roll and then...
Yeah.
Maybe it was just we'd used one of the fate things and that gave us a bonus. Maybe that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Now, would you care?
Yeah, I'll try again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll re-roll. Yeah. We'll use a point. Done. There we go.
Nice. Okay, 7 and 1. Now that you've had a chance to sit down and you've had a drink, one thing you're noticing or you're recalling is that there was always, like, not that it's, again, different culture and whatnot, but Sir Anwes always seemed to favor Morgana. It's not something that was reciprocated necessarily, but, like, he was very, in retrospect, you would likely see it as leering or desirous of her.
Yeah. So Okay, I would probably, I'll wait until we're not sitting in a bar with a bunch of locals, but maybe on the road I'll sort of recant some of this history to just my allies here.
So one thing to determine,
we're getting out of here.
I think we should go.
Do you guys have any other questions about, because you're using a extinguish ability too, Naldo? Is there any specific other questions you have about the area or about?
No, I guess. I think
Yeah,
the only
now's the time to
thing
ask.
maybe. Yeah, I was gonna say. I think the only thing he would really be concerned with and curious about is anything about the from here to the Black Tower. Anything in that transit
Anything in the what?
that he's heard. The transit between here and the Black Tower, like, is there something specific landmark? Is there some sort of specific native species? Is there anything about that travel from point A to point B that we should be on the lookout for?
Well, again, like it's a 20-minute ride from here to the Black Tower. So, is there a reason you're asking about that? Maybe that'll help me understand how to respond.
Paranoia. I've played in your games before, Madison.
Did I mention the Blackbird
No,
Fang Dragon?
I
I mean, there's that. You know.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think he wants to make sure that they end up on the right path, and also that there's not like a pack of wolves that have been roaming that area. You know, those are the types of things he's thinking about.
Well,
Are you talking about the tower or between here and Mulgrave Keep? Because the tower has a path, like it's a well-trod road kind of thing.
yeah, it's a road to there,
Oh,
but
wait a minute. So the tower and the keep are separate?
the Tower and
Yeah,
the Keep
yeah.
are separate. Margrave Keep is somewhere tucked well away. To be honest, the history of it is such that the Black Tower was originally just like a watch post that was in service to Margrave Keep, and then something happened in Margrave Keep, and it was left to be, to the forest, and a new holding was set up through the Black Tower. And then, over time, it came to be in a position where Kenyon's father could station someone there, and they were able to arrange for the bastards of the Black Tower. House Teague were a bastard family before, and they've become masters of the Black Tower, but those who question their lineage still behind their backs will refer to them as the bastards of the Black Tower.
Okay.
But it's interesting you mentioned that. If you do ask, there has been at least one farmstead between here and there. And there's not a lot of, huge amount of arable land. It's sort of you cut it out of the forest and you grow something from there and blah, blah, blah. There is one where everybody in the farm suddenly went missing and something terrible took them. The locals say, so there are some who say that it was the rebel. He had summoned something terrible to fall upon them, and they all disappeared, leaving only traces. Like, the way it's described is exactly as what you found in that cabin. 2 days travel into the Iron Shell Hills. That occurred about a month ago. And there have still been, not only there's one person who's gone missing from Ramble Cross, but it's said there's been others who have gone missing. And it's said that the rebels' monster hunts the woods for them.
That's important.
So.
Okay. That's good. That's, like I said, that's what he was looking for. That's the type of information he was curious about.
So then there's one last important thing to do, because this would take time.
Yes.
Kenyon, would you roll 1 chaos dice, please? Let's see how your timing is.
I love how Kev knows that I'm the sucker who's probably going to roll a 6.
No,
not this time.
Order
prevailed.
So, with the information you have right now, having extinguished that, you guys have found the information you've got, and this is within the first hour of being here. So, it is still light outside, but it will be dark soon. What are you guys intending on doing? You could try and do something else in town, and then we'll roll 2 chaos dice and see if you get that task done before they arrive. Or you head off. I think now, Amherst, you did collect some food, right? When you guys went hunting, or maybe it was Tagwin who got it.
Yeah, Emrys had done some hunting. It was 2 days worth of food. We were a day out, so we have
a day's worth of food
rations
still.
For one day. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what would you guys like to do?
I mean, my vote is get out of here. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very much so.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you wish to leave here without notice, I think what we'll do is, who among you has the worst stealth score?
Oh, God.
Oh.
It's got to be either Canyon or Naldo, but...
Yeah, I was going to say my agility is 44. I have a -1 modifier. I don't have any training in stealth.
The -1 is only to the bonus. That won't affect your skill roll. The negative modifier is only to your bonus. The negative modifier is only to your bonus. It isn't to your skill modifier. So that'll be 44. Okay. And then what is yours, Kenyon?
43 and 1 worse.
Okay. So then, why doesn't Naldo, or Kenyon, you're the worst. So Kenyon, why don't you give us a stealth roll, and then Emrys and Naldo, you can each roll a d10 to aid. So you can sub that in for the 10s digit, Kenyon.
Oh, okay. Here we go. So...
That's pretty good, Emrys.
Stealth? Oh, that 2 is so clutch.
And that...
Oh, that's exactly what I rolled.
Okay. So, when you guys leave there, let me grab stuff here. As you're leaving Mary's Pot and you're heading out, we know you're being inconspicuous in your exit. Tell us a bit about where you plan on going. Assume that, I guess, geez, you don't really necessarily know where. You know what forest Malgrave Keep is in, Kenyon. And you know it's probably a day or two travel kind of through difficult terrain once again. Would you sort of plunge yourself up into those forests and then try to, like, bushwhack your way around, or do you guys follow the road for a bit and then cut in? What are you thinking? I think you can sort of picture, if you want to know where geographically it would be, it's sort of like, if from here, if here is where you guys are at Ramblecross, and here is where the Black Tower is to sort of the west there, it'll be kind of north, but closer to the to Ramblecross than to the Black Tower. So you could make your way along the road and then a little away from it. That could be a way, or you can just go cut directly from Ramblecross and try and, like, bushwhack your way towards it. What do you think?
If we take the road, we could end up running into riders from the keep or from the tower.
Right, and especially if they arrive here and they're looking for us and they figure out we've left town, towards Robat's Keep might be their next move, and it might have, our cards might be shown if that's the direction we're heading, instead of towards, his mom's, instead of towards, what's it called?
Malgrave Keep. Malgrave.
So the tower is north, and the keep is to the northwest or the west?
The Black Tower. But if we're heading towards Malgrave Keep instead of the Black Tower, we've kind of shown our cards.
Right.
So maybe we need to bushwhack right away.
Emrys is like, let's go.
The Black Tower is where the mom is.
Yeah.
Black Tower is mom. Malgrave Keep is son.
Yeah.
And Emrys is like, we should go to neither.
Oh.
Let's exit town back to the south, or wherever the direction we came with Owen, and then we'll bushwhack our way towards.
I see.
The difficulty is that's the other side of the Ramble River, and it'll be difficult to cross at a certain point.
They'll probably not have a crossing.
Okay, Kevin, you remind me if I'm wrong on this, but from what I understood you saying, between here and the Black Tower was where you said that farming family had vanished.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why don't we head to where that? Because I know at least where that is. Why don't we head up there and then cut through the bush from there?
The only risk is you'd be heading directly down the road in the direction of where oncoming riders might be coming from the Black Tower.
If
I mean, it's just
if the ladies
it's just an idea.
Troops, yeah, if
Once
the ladies
they-
send for troops on the road.
Even if we thought we'd be able to convince them to not take us to the tower, as soon as they find out who I am, we'll be forced to go to the Black Tower.
But why don't we start that direction at least 5 minutes, just so that people think we're heading to the tower, and then we'll pick off off the road.
I mean, if we're gonna pretend we're going to the tower, why don't we even make a bit of a show of leaving that information here in the tavern?
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's what I was saying about that farm. I was like, oh, hey, we're going to go check out this farm. That sounds like some sort of,
Better idea. And if we go missing,
madness that needs to be eliminated. And
Yeah.
Right.
people don't know us, they don't care about this. But if
go
we
check out the
do
farm.
find out whatever the madness is, then hey, we're heroes.
But-
It's not
or
really
even
how
if we
things work
just-
in the Carcass Nations.
Well,
Even
I'm
if we
just
just-
saying, I'm just thinking through.
no, I
I'm
think you're
like,
onto
hey, if we
something,
can,
Will.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, oh, well, we're gonna go check this out. We're gonna go see what happened there. We're gonna try and find this
Right.
family that vanished. We're gonna try and eliminate all these reports of some monster or whatever.
But Ember says, he's like, hey, that's not a bad idea. Because all he's thinking about is, I don't want people knowing where I'm going. So he's like, let's lead him off in a different direction, or
Right.
lead him astray. We'll tell him, hey, we're going to go check out the tower, or we're going to go check out that farm. It sounds like
Right.
worth investigating. And if we go missing, we went missing
Nobody
at the farm
cares.
where other people went missing.
Yep.
No,
Right.
a whole family went missing.
Yeah, that's why I thought that was a good idea.
Okay.
But we're going to get off the road as soon as we're out of eye to eye shot from the town.
Like, I think as
Right.
we could you, like, you guys as Blackbirds, that's definitely something that would be it seems like fate brought you in this direction for some reason, so it's reasonable to think of that. But remember, Blackbirds are not really like a known or accepted thing. It's something that is only manifested in here since the world tree fell and the seasons went to hell and the gods were silent and their servants went mad. If you offer to go and we're going to go investigate that, they're going to reasonably think like, why the fuck are you
Right, you're crazy.
well, also like, are you just going to go and steal shit there? Are you scavengers? Because there would be no
Right.
other reason for why you'd be going there other than this. This is a dark fantasy setting, not like the assumption isn't, oh, you guys are heroes, or oh, you're monster hunters. It's like, you showed up with not even enough money to pay for a fucking night here, and now you're going to pick over dead people's houses?
Right.
All right.
Right.
Like,
People see the worst in this setting as opposed to other settings.
with good cause, I think, a decade
Yeah,
or more
100%.
of betrayal and war and whatnot, it leads people to be cynical.
Yep.
If there was what I agree with, though, like the idea among your characters having been exposed to what happened in the cabin, that absolutely sounds like something similar to what you've exposed yourself to, and maybe there is something to be gained from that. One of the things the game has in it as well is this the patron system, right? Where you have patrons who benefit you, and you get to just gain access to stuff of their patronage level or less. Part of that is to capture. Part of it is to do away with like having to keep track of money and whatnot. But part of it is also reflecting the setting, where you gotta go to the powerful and do serve their interests, because that's the nature of a dark fantasy setting. You're gonna kind of have to pick the best of the worst and try and hope they don't ask you to do anything too terrible. So otherwise, without that, you're sleeping outside. Without a patron, you are you have no money, you're trying to live off of spoils, which you generally would take through violence, I guess. But in any event, if you guys say that you wish to, with that in mind, your character would know that, and your character may be clever enough to figure out why. Perhaps there's some reason you would be looking into that. In the context of that, perhaps you're doing it at the behest of someone. You know,
well,
if you give context for it, they may accept it then. Just random strangers going in, like, the kind of things you would, that would be, that wouldn't get scrutiny in other settings, would get a great deal of scrutiny in this one. What do you think?
Isn't there some sort of inquisitorium or something for these monsters? It seems like I remember there's a group that kind of specifically, you know, tries to eradicate this stuff.
I mean, there's the Sigilites who hunt terrible things and whatnot, but they also, you know, kill grandmothers who know folk magic.
Okay,
right.
So I need something that's a little less terrifying than that.
Well, maybe we could just see if is there an alderman here in town? Or
Well, and we're clearly not Sigilites, to be fair.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
They're very
We're
adorable.
those guys.
You know what you could do? You were previously in, as a member of the Hallowed Hounds, you were in service to Duke Roderick Price of Carrick. Remember, Carrick is a well-known crossroads nearby. The people here don't know that it's burned to the ground, because that was news to Owen. So,
right.
If you came here and said, well, actually, we were sent by, you know, I don't want to give his name or blah, blah, blah. If you cloak it in that, and that he's dispatched you guys to do something about it, yeah, that would give it the cloak of legitimacy, because you're doing it at the behest of somebody powerful.
Right.
if they ask
Somebody who's a landowner.
and if they ask for papers or proof or something like that, it was taken from us when we were attacked in the forest, because we were wounded and beat
none
up
of these people would know to ask for any of that stuff. You know, you could easily, especially with the extinguish ability, you could easily bamboozle them, I think, well enough. Agents of the lady that may, or House Teague, they may require more substantive proof. But you do have the advantage of, you guys are likely the only survivors of the fall of Carrick, or the sack of Carrick, for days. People aren't going to get news of that for a while now, because you guys took that shortcut through the Ironshale Hills.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what word do you leave about that?
I like the cover.
What was that, Will?
Well, I'm trying to process exactly what you're asking. You're just asking kind of what the cover story is?
Yeah. What do you think your cover story is that you're leaving behind?
Well, and that's to the south of here, right?
It is to the east. Technically, you have to travel there is south and then east to get around the Ironshale Hills. You guys cut a shortcut across that nobody would, in their right mind, would ever take.
Well, you're right, mine. Come on now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're representatives of a powerful landowner to the southeast of here, and he is concerned about these rumors of his family disappearing, perhaps some sort of enemy incursion into his territory. So he sent us along to see if it's anything he needs to be worried about.
Okay.
So we're going to head to that farm.
Yeah, so they'll probably take from that you are likely allied with Lady Irwin as well. So the town will leave with the impression that that's where you're heading, that, oh, this is why you're so obviously educated and whatnot and well-armed, but, only able to stop and, spare coin for a single drink. That makes sense to them now. So,
right, perfect.
Then,
good cover story.
Let's see about whether your luck holds out. So as you're making your way along the road, Kenyon, would you roll 2 chaos dice for us, please?
Oh, man.
Into the jaws of.
Okay, here we go. Now, if I was trying to roll a sixes, I wouldn't do it. Okay, so there you go.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
All right. So you guys are able to travel, maybe a mile outside of town, or, 3/4 of a mile before you get to a point, and then you're able to duck. Are you intent on kind of getting into the bushes and make your way to that farm, or was that a ruse to get you, just outside of the view of the town, and then you're going to make for Malgrave Keep?
Exactly.
Yeah. I think Emerist was very, very vocal that this is a ruse to get us away from them, and then we're beating foot, up the bush.
Okay. So then we are going to have to set up another overland journey then. So, guys, I am very sorry. I got to go to the washroom very quickly. I don't know if I drank too much before the session or what, but like my back teeth are floating. Why don't you guys take a look at the player notes, and that'll remind you of the different roles for the journey, and I'll let you guys sort out amongst one another which of you will take each of the different 3 roles for the
right.
journey,
I'm going to have to do one today, even though I'm terrible.
Yeah, because there's trailblazing, which is folklore or navigation.
Wait.
We have Naldo or Lake, and you're down with that, with Kenyon helping. Quartermaster, which is heal or survival, and Tagwin was doing that, and I was scouting, either with awareness or stealth, I think. Are you good in any of those skills, Kenyon?
Player notes. There it is.
Because I have survival. I could also do the quartermaster one. If you have awareness, you could do scouting.
I have toughness, warfare, leadership, athletics, and melee. So none of the skills for these. My best
What are your best
stats
scores?
are brawn, combat, and fellowship.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't need to be the scout, because heal, folklore, and navigation are all intelligence based, and intelligence tests that I do are flipped to succeed.
Oh yeah, so you should do an intelligence one.
So you should.
Yeah,
definitely
so
do
any of
Trailblazer.
those 3, and
So
I
you're doing
guess
Trailblazer.
since you've got survival, Dave, is that right?
So
I can do quartermaster or scout. So
Which
it's
one
really
is-
about
which one's the more important? Scout's more important, right, than
Is
quartermaster?
that right, or is it Trailblazer? I can't remember.
quartermaster is about supplies.
Quartermaster is how many resources you use up, and the
Right.
scout is sets the threat level for what you might run into.
Right.
Okay,
So I think
Scout
we're
is
better to
pretty
keep our.
important.
Yeah.
Naldo's going to trailblaze. Kenyon's going to quartermaster, and Emerus is going to scout.
Yeah.
That sound doable?
Okay, so then Trailblaze is either folklore or navigation. You flip to succeed on this. Is that right, Naldo? On the
Right. That's the big thing. Yeah, I'm not necessarily trained, but I do get to flip to succeed.
okay, so the terrain here is going to be. Let's see. Overgrown forest is a challenging terrain, so this will be your Trailblazer may help make it easier for everyone else in their subsequent tasks. So, Naldo, would you go ahead and give us your Trailblazer role at challenging? So, be folklore or navigation.
And
It is flip to succeed though, so it's 26.
right. So it's a 26.
Yep.
Bob's
Yep.
your uncle.
So that's it.
Nice.
That's success. All right. So a regular, if successful, terrain eases by 1 step positively. So
Nice.
challenging terrain now becomes standard terrain. So that is great. So this is you guys now once again back into the forest. So let's quickly get ourselves back over there. Where are we here? Thick forest, guys. Thick forest. Let's go to this one here. I mean, we could go to this one, guys, but I feel like that has a more ominous tone to it, so maybe this one. Unless you wanted October. That one. Are you sure? Or no? This one?
That one feels more October-ish.
No.
Okay. All right, so then would everyone kindly give us a... Oh, no, it'll not be for this one. Next will be Quartermaster. So that'll be you, Kenyon, right?
Yep.
So either heal or survival against standard, please. Difficulty.
Is heal flip to fail, though? Yes.
Heal is a advanced skill? I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it is. So I have to use survival.
Okay.
Probably the better choice.
Yeah. You want to hero point that? Or fortune that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Might as well try for a better result.
Hold on, you guys have 8, so that should be 6 now. Also, we have the wrong characters set up here.
Come on, man.
Okay.
I tried.
So all that means is that you guys have exhausted your supplies in going through here. Whether that means like something got wet or, you know, something got left behind, something wasn't as, you know, well preserved as you thought, or maybe like, you know, when you took a break, some bold raccoon came over and grabbed it and running off.
That's what I was thinking, like a wombat or something came and stole your food.
Wombat. Combat wombat. There's a monster in...
It's always a wombat.
In the Shadowrun called a combat wombat that I just... If I read it when I'm on my own, I'll still shout it out loud. Combat wombat. All right. So yeah, you've used up all of your provisions, and I'm going to bump the endure check up by 1 because you don't have enough for 2 days worth of provisions. So, would everyone kindly give us a toughness or survival check at challenging, please?
This is survival better. God. And I'm going to make that a challenge.
I got a +10, so I'll do mine at
You do survival? You got it, Emrys. Nice, Ronaldo. Hell yeah.
The high roll for you there, Jeff. I'm going to re-roll.
Oh, so close. Naldo, you want to re-roll, or Kenyon, you want to re-roll too?
Yeah, I think I better try.
We're due for a 13 or something.
Yeah, come on.
No one critically failed though,
all
so
the points.
There's that. All right, so then, oops. For Emrys, 15 compared to your peril threshold. And for Kenyon, 13 compared to your peril threshold.
Oh no.
15 puts me down at 2.
2, okay.
Oh, I have bad news, guys. Because I was already, ignore 3 skill ranks down. I'm incapacitated again.
Are you really?
Really?
Well, I started the session, I was 1 off the bottom.
Oh my god, right. Do you want to fate point that?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I guess I will use my fate point again.
Just get my fate point back, damn it.
Kenyon's just hanging on by a thread everywhere we go.
Yeah, so what do we see as you're making your way through the dark, stumbling your way towards Malgrave Castle? You don't actually take the impact from this, Kenyon, but what do you think is going through your mind?
I mean, I think that it is exactly that, some stupid creature or something got into our bag and stole our rations, and he's sort of down, and so he's trudging through the forest, and I think it's just sort of the he feels led. Like, it's sort of like if he wasn't trudging along mindlessly, he would have been in trouble here. But it's sort of fate really is pulling him through the woods more than his own skill.
Do you think some of that is the prospect of seeing Robat again?
Yeah, maybe he's thinking that the face of a childhood friend would really brighten his last week here.
Mm-hmm. So
and
now,
I don't know much about this Muldrave Keep, but being called a keep, he's hopeful that it'll be better than where they've been staying.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, certainly better than the freaking hills, right? So the final one is the Scout, Emrys. This is still, again, against a standard.
And that is a...
stealth or awareness.
Stealth or awareness?
Yeah.
I think I'll go with stealth because I still got Prowler open with a +10 to stealth check.
Nice.
So.
Okay.
So it's what, standard?
It is standard now. Yeah, yeah. So +10,
and
I guess,
so
would
with
be
my
routine for you.
For my routine? Okay.
Yeah. Nice roll. Wow.
Bam.
All right. So effect is reduce the threat level by 1 chaos dice. Then, Emma, since you were the scout, would you roll 2 chaos dice for us? Let's see if you're encountering anything in these deep, dark woods. Order prevails again, guys. So then we have one final endure test. This is against standard. So this will be a standard either toughness or survival check, please. And I'll show you where you are going to be arriving.
I definitely want to use.
Nice, Emrys.
You said that's standard, or
that'll be standard, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice, Naldo.
Man.
Come on, Kenyon. Take some. You want to fortune that?
Yeah, do we have one left? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got plenty left, brother.
Perfect. Yeah, here we go. Here we go.
Come on, green, green, green.
Yes!
Nice!
Attaboy.
All right, let me show you what you come across then. You guys also rolled really well for your stealth, so you can feel free to approach this place as conspicuously or as inconspicuously as you like. If you don't want to announce your arrival, you could reconnoiter this place, because you actually hear, I think you hear them before you reach them. And,
Yeah, I think we would do that.
okay,
Discretion. Yeah.
Being smart mercenaries, what do you think, Kenyon?
Absolutely.
We would have been discussing this prior to sneaking around.
Okay.
Yeah, I think stealth is the way to go.
Well, that, and if we can get in close enough, we could hear something. Maybe we...
Right, we know what to do.
Oh, dag, give me a sec here. I gotta load something in. I thought I had loaded all the images I needed. Apparently, I loaded precisely what I needed for last week. Cav, come on, man. Same team, buddy. Sheepers. Let me make the reveal here. Naldo, do you have any unspent RP right now?
No, I think I burned it all to get my my simple melee up.
Oh, okay, got it. Got it.
I'm pretty sure the system calculated and said, yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I was like, okay.
I have 3 RP, but I was going to buy crossbow and ranged. I'm like, I don't even know if I have a crossbow. So why would I buy that? I can
That's
get my
right, you
hands on
guys
a ranged
left
weapon.
You left that the crossbows of the
Deserters.
yeah.
And since then, I've been kicking myself for not taking a good melee or a good range weapon.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And I don't have a melee skill. I'm just getting by with my AB.
Go you.
So
Well, it'd be nice if I had melee skill.
I'm gonna have to find it again because I don't know where the heck it is.
Okay.
Yeah, like I could have sworn I had it saved, but I don't know where the heck it is. There's
Maybe
a specific image I had, and I don't know if it's in the Dragon Age stuff or not. I'll quickly take a look in there. I don't think so, but I may have to wait to reveal this image for next session. Let's see here. How do you plan on? One thing I would like to know is how you plan on approaching these folks. You just want to walk up to it. What you can picture is that this place is it is falling apart. Like it is an absolutely derelict castle, and it is set up within the woods, but like the walls aren't intact any longer. They've had to build a kind of makeshift walkway in order to get across the now mostly filled in moat. You may be able to actually infiltrate the place without actually without having to face any opponents.
Well, wouldn't it have been enough time, Kevin, at this point to where it would be dark?
Definitely. Yeah. By the time you reach here.
And so we most likely do not have any light on ourselves, but they probably have some light up there.
Yeah.
So we can kind of see that as we kind of move around, maybe.
Yeah,
and get a better way.
Dark, like 70s British cinema, kind of dark, right? Like Hammer horror dark. That's how dark it would be, right?
Oh, that's it. I love it. We're on the same.
Exactly. So, how do you guys want to? Do you want to make them tell them that you're here? Or do you want to just try and sneak in and see what's going on inside there, or? What do you think, guys?
I'm going to put that in Emerus's hands at this point.
And
he's our stealthy guy.
Yeah, but this is Kenyon's buddy, so it's Kenyon. Do you want to go in, sneaking in, trying to deceive your buddy, or are you gonna?
Well, what are we gonna do if we sneak in on them? Like, aren't we here to speak with these people? I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Like,
then I'm sure we could
Yeah.
They accept new recruits. So we come to the front and say, "Hey, don't shoot. We're wanting to talk to your leader."
Yeah.
And I'm sure, as good as our rolls were, we could get back to the road. And it seems like we came up the path instead of coming out of the woods.
There's not.
So that's going to make us look more.
Yeah, there's not really a path here though, because
remember this path to it?
Yeah, this place was left to let the forest reclaim it centuries ago.
Okay.
And the reason that he hasn't been driven out of here probably is in part because people don't want to believe the rumors and that he may be here, or B, think of what you guys went through just to get here. Do you feel that you guys are in fighting form, in order to try and drive him out?
We're effectively heroes who struggled to get here. The average person or soldier is going to be exhausted in the woods somewhere and not be able to get to the destination before they have to fight.
Yeah. So what do you do?
So then I guess we do just kind of come out of the woods, and I would say, Kenyon, like Emrys said, this is your call. So you lead the way.
Yeah, I think we just walk out.
Okay. Then we will pick up in 1 week's time with you guys walking out to announce your arrival at Mulgrave Keep and see what kind of reception you get. So everyone gets 1 RP again. And for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for chapter, what is this, 10, 11? 11, I think. Chapter 11 of our, what do you call it? Do you think we're going to get a Shadowrun campaign? Oh gosh, I would love that. I just don't think that everybody loves Shadowrun as much as I do. So we are definitely playing Shadowrun in 2 weeks' time, though, Hector. So we will be playing some Shadowrun on the channel. Just an ongoing campaign is definitely an open question at this point. But for those listening at home, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, or the adventure, or the game we're playing, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. There's also a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, where we have a channel dedicated to powered by Zweihander Games, as well as most of the other campaigns we run on the channel, including our Night Below campaign, as well as other things like finding a group or GM discussion. There's a really helpful and knowledgeable and friendly community that's built up over the years over there. You are more than welcome to join us. There's also a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. Actually, the Noble Knight Games discount code will not be working. I need to email tonight about that. It expired in September, so my apologies. The Noble Knight Games is the preeminent unionized retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs in North America. Not only do they have a terrific selection of new role-playing games, board games, and card games, they have an unmatched selection of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs. And if you make a purchase of $10 or more, we normally have a discount code to offer for that, but it has expired, and I haven't got the new one yet. The discount code will be listed in the description of the video in our, hopefully by our Friday session. I'll email our contact there tonight, and hopefully we'll have a new discount code for you by then. If you enter that code at checkout, you'll save yourself 10% on your purchase. If they don't have something in stock that you're looking for, you can also put it on a want list, and they'll send you an email when it comes in. And if you're looking to get rid of some of your stuff as well, too, they have a hit list for things that they want to pick up. So if you want to make some room on your shelves, Noble Knight Game it typically buys. I actually don't know how. They're always buying, it seems like, RPGs. So, definitely, if you're looking to get rid of it, then you could do that. They'll price it for you. They'll tell you whether you get it. You can get it in cash or in store credit. And I believe they pay for shipping as well, too. So it is a good deal all around. There is also a link down below to something called Hero Save Villages. Hero Save Villages is the charity fundraising campaign we run on the channel. It benefits the SOS Children's Villages International, a really terrific organization active in over 130 countries, benefiting over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children. All donations that go through that link go directly to them. None of it goes to the channel or any other middleman. It just goes to benefit the kids who are serviced by SOS Children's Villages International. And as a small way of saying thank you, if you have donated $25 or more since the start of the year, since January 2024, head on over to the Charity Initiatives channel and cast your vote for the latest in our mashup sessions. We've been running for the second half of the year a series of mashup games where we're taking a classic adventure or module and running it with a game that's not designed to be played with. We've played the Expedition to the Barrier Peaks with Acton Cthulhu 2D20, and we've played a session of the Masks of Nyarlathotep campaign with Lex Arcana. And next up will be the Great Pendragon campaign, published for the Pendragon RPG. We have some terrific, actually there's a couple of really terrific ones that are in the lead right now. Right now the leader is the Fallout RPG, published by Modifius. So there are some really fun options though, and that there's a very close voting over there. So if you donated $25 or more since the start of the year, head on over there, cast your vote, and we'll have 3 more mashup sessions. 3 more? 2 more. 2 more mashups afterwards to vote on as well. You'll also be voting on what kind of heroes we're going to play for that session. Last thing I will say is a huge thank you to our stalwart Blackbirds. So Dave, Jeffrey, and Will, thank you so much for playing tonight, guys. Congratulations on making it to Mulgrave Keep. I'm sure nothing bad will happen there. So the faces say otherwise.
We got the word brave and bad in it. Yeah, nothing's going to happen.
We will be back in 1 week's time to see what kind of reception our Blackbirds receive in Mulgrave Keep. But until then, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our stalwart Blackbirds are finding as they pursue their fate to find and uncover what is going on in the Black Tower. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.
See ya.